is Chris from Dagon, and you are listening to Antihero Online.
All right, so let's talk about the new album, Back to the
Yeah,
Sea. This is the band's first album in about 5 years. What kind of influenced the hiatus, and what brought you guys back to the studio to record this record?
yeah, man. It was a little bit of a break. We had been doing it. Like, I feel like we had been kind of going strong for a while, and um, you know, the three of us actually started doing some other musical things. We play in like this like rebel bluegrass bluegrass old school country band, oddly enough. And yeah, and so we did that for a little while, and then we still do that actually. It's a lot of fun, but man, we really just had the pull. And for Dagon, we've always been writers, and so we really love to write. We finished Back to the Sea just released, and we're working on new material already. So I feel like we just kind of had that pull to really get back together, and felt like we just had more music that we needed to get out there for sure.
That's two weird ends of the spectrum right there. You guys play some really heavy metal with Dagon, and then bluegrass. What kind of inspired that?
You know, it's funny because I feel like the kind of country we play is and the bluegrass is like it's almost the same kind of level of exclusive. Like, you've got these exclusive metal heads that will only listen to this particular genre or whatever. But this kind of country will only play like the old school. We won't do any of the modern country. It would be like the Johnny Cash and like the that era country. And so it kind of had a similar kind of feel to it because we're a bunch of elitist pricks in some ways. But no, it was a lot of fun, and it was just something different because, again, we've been playing metal for a long time. Like, we're definitely a little older. We're all in our 30s now, and it was just kind of this thing where we wanted to explore a little bit. But yeah, after a while, it's just like, man, we really want to get back to our roots, and again, just like we felt like we had more songs in us.
Oh yeah, totally. And like with the record, there's a lot of insane riffage.
Yeah, yeah.
Was that something you were kind of like dying to get out from, your bluegrass days?
Oh, for sure. And so, like, what's funny about it is when we decided to get back together, I went back, in my studio, and riffs that we had recorded, there was a massive library of riffs. And then probably one of the things that really was kind of catalytic for us as well is we connected with our new guitarist, Chris Sharrock, who played on Back to the Sea and helped us write the entire record. And so once we kind of made the connection with him, it sort of sparked some stuff in us as well, because he's been a long time kind of Dagon fan and a long time friend and everything like that. So for him to bring his new energy, to be excited to play with Dagon and be in Dagon and really contribute some amazing riffs, and obviously he's an incredible player. I felt like that kind of gave us some new life as well. But yeah, definitely burning to turn it up loud and really just get those riffs out again.
And what was kind of going through your head when you were composing the riffs to this album?
It's so us. So Jordan, Randy, and I have we've been playing together. Man, I want to say since we were 15 years old, and so I feel like we've kind of had a really good rhythm in terms of writing together, and we've got a pretty good idea of what a Dagon song and Dagon riffs should sound like. But yeah, I know. I don't know. We kind of let it fly a little bit more this time. I mean, we've got a couple songs on the record that are 7-8 minute long epics, which, I mean, we really haven't done a whole lot of that before. We've I don't know. I think we kind of let ourselves explore a little bit more. Like, I don't know how familiar you are with the record, but there's some songs on there that have really different feels than what we've done in the past. And so, yeah, we didn't really limit ourselves. In fact, it's funny, there's 13 songs on the record, which is totally irresponsible. It's way too many songs for a record. And we kind of had deadlines we were working with to get in with Josh, our engineer producer. And then we had deadlines with, Luxor Records to get the record out and everything. And so we had deadlines that we wanted to abide by. And we just couldn't stop writing. Chris and I got together to work out our dueling solos one night, and we wrote another song, and that was our 13th song. And the guys liked it, and we're like, oh shoot, I guess we just got to keep writing. And so it was, just one of those things where we had so much, we literally had to stop ourselves to get it all in there.
And the opening track for the record, Back to the Sea, kind of has a little bit of a symbolism there, especially with the band kind of coming back after 5 years, and you play that kind of oceany, melodic, heavy metal type stuff.
Sure.
Was that one of the bigger things that you wanted to do, is like, start the record off, we're back, and we're back to the sea, pretty much?
Yeah, no, for sure. You're spot on with that. It's definitely got some wordplay in there of us being back and coming back. And our drummer wrote that song, and I think he makes reference to to a bunch of our older material that kind of throws back. And so those guys are just really clever with the lyrics, our drummer Jordan, and then Randy as well. For sure, we wanted to come back, and it felt really natural. It didn't feel like there was any kind of struggle to what is a Dagon song supposed to sound like in 2018 versus in 2014 or 2011. Gosh, we're old, but no, it was a lot of fun. Yeah, we've had a blast writing, and so we've kind of been going hard ever since. And we're a pretty hardworking band too. I mean, so we're not a bunch of partiers. Like, we're really, really focused on the music, and we're a band that just tries to get shit done, I guess.
Hell yeah! And if you got to categorize your inspirations, I guess, and the bands that you kind of take from, who would you say is the main influence for Dagon?
It's pretty funny because in the song Ocean Metal 2 on the record, he slips in lines and like obscure references to, I think, 20 different metal bands or albums or songs. So that's kind of fun if you're looking for those Easter eggs. But no, so to answer that question, initially there's probably a couple really key bands for us. Initially the band Hypocrisy was a big influence for us. The album The Arrival specifically was really big for us in the early days. And then so for sure, like, bands from a melodic standpoint would be like Dark Tranquillity, a little bit of their older stuff for sure, like Arch Enemy. But we're not. We definitely like to be aggressive as well. So there's some of that death metal influence. I mean, we're all death metal heads. Like, we love Cannibal Corpse, we love Dying Fetus. Some of those kind of like groovy type heavy bands. But no, I mean, so for sure, Arch Enemy. There's probably some In Flames. I know Testament's going to be a big one there as well. But I mean, and of course. Slayer, you have to say that, I guess, maybe if you have any thrashing in your band at all. But
that's kind of what I got too. And like, when I listened to the record towards the end of Back to the Sea, I got that little bit of thrashiness in there.
Yeah,
because it kind of came out. It came out of nowhere, and I was like, wait, there's some thrashiness too.
Yeah. It's funny. I mean, I feel like in some ways we're all over the place a little bit, but somehow it works. But we also love rock and roll. Like, I'm probably the biggest nerd power metal guy in the band.
Yes.
And we are such nerds. I'm gonna give away all our secrets here, but like, we are D&D playing metalhead power metal nerds. So like, even like a band, we went to go see Primal Fear as a band earlier this year. And Primal Fear is like, if you take all the good parts of Judas Priest and you put them all in, that's Primal Fear, and they're one of our favorite bands too. So there's a lot of that rock and roll piece that we don't shy away from as well.
And you brought up the power metal. Don't be ashamed of the power metal. You gotta love that, man.
I was born in the wrong decade. I'm a huge power metal guy.
Oh yeah, I am too, man. Sabaton's making their way around the country right now, and I'm hype about that one.
Nice. Yeah, for sure. For sure.
And I did get a little bit of that power metal in there as well too.
And it's fun. So even with some of our styles, so man, Chris has meshed so well with our bands. And I know that because usually when we played before, my wife would listen to all of my solos, and she would be like, "Oh, I know every single solo you do." And then she listened back to the CD, and she's like, couldn't tell a difference. There's so much seamlessness in kind of our styles that Chris and I do, and so he brings some of that rock and roll style, and you know, a lot of that. I would say for Chris too, some of that Megadeth, like Marty Friedman era. Marty Friedman style guitar playing has really just rounded us out well. So yeah, it's been fun.
Now that you guys got the record out,
Yeah.
is there the opportunity to maybe do some local touring in support of the record?
Yeah, for sure. We would love to. We're we don't do as much touring as we used to do. We used to play out and do touring a ton, but yeah, for sure. So our plan is to get out, probably more regionally at the moment. But yeah, we would love to. We're in talks to do potentially some festivals here in Michigan. Yeah, we kind of we're sort of in recovery mode at the moment. Everything getting to the release, and the release show was a huge hit. It was a phenomenal show. Yeah, I guess that's another thing too, is our power metal comes through in our live show. I mean, we had confetti cannons, we had inflatable sharks, we had people jumping off of top floors. I mean, we sold out the venue. It was a blast. It was just it kind of felt more like, yeah, like an Andrew WK concert or something like that in a way, because it was just kind of fun. But yeah, no, we don't take ourselves too seriously, and we love to have high energy shows for sure.
Oh yeah, and how did it feel being back on stage with the band?
Yeah, like when we first played our first comeback show, man, a little over a year ago. It was just, I mean, the response was overwhelming. I mean, yeah, I mean, people, old fans, new fans, came out and supported. It was a blast. Yeah, I mean, and people still with their shirts from 5 or 10 years before, and then we sold out of like two new runs of shirts, and it's just fun. Like I think the fun thing about our band, because we're nerds and because we have a theme of ocean, like people can really get on board with it. Like we sell and give away inflatable fins at our shows, and people like are in circle pits with inflatable fin. Like I think it's kind of like a fun, almost sort of little subculture or something like that we enjoy.
And you brought up the possibility to do some festivals up that way.
Yeah.
What kind of goes through your head when your band is in consideration for these spots in these festivals?
Yeah, we're at a point where, I mean, we would love to get our music out to as many people as possible. And so it's fun kind of partnering with Luxor for the first time, because I know that they have, you know, some additional reach, and even now, like we just had a review that came in yesterday from a magazine in Italy, and so, like we sent merchandise to, I don't know, 15 or 20 different countries. And so it's cool to be able to get our music out to as many people as possible. In regards to like the festivals, yeah, I mean, if we can play bigger shows, or if we can get on some bigger events, that's fantastic. We just want as many people to enjoy the album as possible. Like, we're really proud of it. Yeah, the more people to be able to share it with, and the more people to be able to interact with, the better.
And what kind of went through your head when you saw that review from a magazine in Italy?
Oh, it's fun. It's fun. Yeah. I mean, it's just cool to think that, you know, that the world is getting smaller and flatter because of the digital media and how it can spread. And so, yeah, it's just cool to think that, you know, people over there are enjoying, and they get it too. Like, I mean, they get the Lovecraft references, they get like the ocean nautical nerdiness, and people really latch onto that when they're writing reviews. So, yeah, no, and we're honored by it. Like, we're to the point where we're just really thankful. I mean, for as much as we have, and we're excited for more at the same time. But yeah, we don't take ourselves too seriously. We really want to have a good time with writing music and doing what we love.
And we're almost 3 months into 2018. What is your bigger goal with this band in 2018?
Oh man, that's a great question. So yeah, I mean, we're again, we would have to really stop ourselves from writing music. Like, we've already started that. So my gut feeling, and not even having talked through it with the guys at all, but my gut feeling is that through the rest of 2018, I mean, we're gonna start working on new material and have new stuff to continue to put out. I think, we're curious to see. We've had a really, really good response to the album so far. I think it's done pretty well, and so I'm curious to see kind of where that takes us and what we can do with that. But yeah, we're writers. We love to write and perform new music, and so we got some shows coming up that we're excited about. But yeah, it's fun, and we've even done a few fun things like locally here. About this time last year, we did a cover show. We played as Black Sabbath. We put out covers records before, so I don't know. I mean, we'll kind of see what we're feeling, but probably the serious answer is, working on new material and then doing everything we can to support Back to the Sea.
And that's pretty much everything that I got for you, man. Is there anything that I didn't touch on that you would like to add?
I think one thing we're excited about is it's our first record that's been pressed on vinyl.
Oh, nice.
And because we are incredibly undisciplined in the amount of songs we could tend to write, this is going to be a double vinyl record
nice.
With amazing custom artwork from a guy who did our last one. He's Jan Yerland with Dark Arts or Dark Grove Arts, I think is this something Dark Arts. But anyway, so just love the artwork, really, really excited for the vinyl piece. And so I would just say, hey, thank you for checking it out. Let me ask you, what did you think of the album? What stuck out to you?
I really liked it, man. I thought it was something that was different. I liked the blend of kind of like the high pitched vocals and the deeper, brutal vocals.
Sure.
The thing that really stuck out the most to me was the guitar work.
Thanks, man.
That's always the thing that sticks out to me, and it can lose me quickly in a record, or it could keep me around. And once I heard the guitar work, I was like, yeah, we're gonna have to listen to this whole thing.
Right on. And I guess I'll say one thing that has kind of changed for us too. Like, so we recorded this record with Josh Schroeder, who's done a lot of has done a lot more big stuff. He did like the King 810 record. He's done, I don't know, a whole list of credits you can look up. But we recorded it, and I mean, we did it in a bit more of like a throwback kind of analog way. There's no drum sampling on the entire record, so it's all like natural drums. I feel like it sounds it sounds unique. So really, really happy with the way the production came out on it. So I don't know. There's just a couple things we're proud of, and even just some of the cool touches, like the very last track with the sound samples, and we have keyboards on a lot more of this, just some atmospheric type stuff. So yeah, I think we're going to continue to experiment and just kind of see what happens. But no, thanks for the kind words, brother. Appreciate it.
Oh, it's no problem, man. And experimentation is key, man. That helps bands grow. If you get kind of complacent with the style, you kind of get stuck and you fall behind. If you continue to grow, continue to experiment, then the band keeps growing.
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
You talked about the vinyl. Where can people find you guys on social media, keep up with news, and order the vinyl when it comes out?
Yeah, so the vinyl, we're learning about that, where the production is just so much slower, which I think is pretty much the case for most bands. So that is in production right now. There's going to be links to everything if you go to our Facebook And then obviously Luxor Records as well. Everything is sold through Victory Merch. So Victory Records merchandise is where you can get our T-shirts, where you can get our album, where you can get our vinyl. So yeah, Victory Merch, and I can send you the link for that if you need it. But yeah, so I would look out for the Dagon Facebook, Luxor Records, and then Victory Merchandise would be the 3 spots.
So they can follow you on Facebook. You guys on Instagram and Twitter and Snapchat and all of that fun.
We do, yeah. So Dagon Ocean Metal, I think is our Instagram. Follow us on that as well. And that might be at Dagon Ocean Metal on the Twitter as well. I'll confirm that. I should know that off the top of my head, but yeah, Dagon Ocean Metal on Instagram and on Twitter as well.